Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a review of the competitive and solo play in Nature, the latest game from North Star, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. Nature is an updating and improvement of the old Evolution and Oceans systems from North Star, where you are trying to create species, make them bigger, get them fed while other players try to do the same, and score the most victory points by being the most successful with your evolution. You play with a deck of core cards, although if you get some of the modules, you can add in other rules and other decks with their own things to play with. And each round you use these cards to upgrade your species with different traits, or you can discard the cards to increase the population or the size of your species, all in a quest to keep your species alive, get the most food from the watering hole, earn the most points. Or you can go the route of blood and turn into hunters and try to eat other animals for your sustenance. So let's discuss 5 key things to know about Nature. So first at number 4, the least important point on my list, but still important or I wouldn't mention it, is the luck of the draw from the decks. And there's a mix for my taste because it's actually not that big a deal, but you'll be drawing from the core deck and other decks depending on what modules you're using. And sometimes you get cards that combo perfectly with stuff you've already put out, and sometimes you get cards that aren't really what you were looking for. Now again, I don't think it's a very big deal because you can use any card to make your species larger or to grow their population, so everything is useful in some way. But some people might get annoyed, especially if they're trying to hunt other species and they just can't get the right cards to make that work. The luck is even more prevalent in the solo mode because the bot is just kind of blindly playing cards, and sometimes the combination of special species cards they get and the cards that they get in their pile just doesn't work as well, and they're easier or harder to beat because of that. But speaking of the solo mode, that is my number 4, and besides the draw luck I just mentioned, this is a full-on pro. I tend to like Ricky Royal's design works and especially his solo modes in general, but I think this one is really cool. Each of the bot's species gets a little card, and when you play with modules, they add in even more, and these cards have competing priorities for the cards that'll be drawn, so you just flip cards for them one at a time, and the icon in the bottom left of each card tells you who's going to prefer to use it and how they're going to assign it to themselves, whether to grow population, grow size, play it as a trait. And this works really well. It's not always as smart as it could be, but it's smooth and it's quick, and for a game like this, which usually only takes 30 minutes to play anyway, that's definitely what you want, especially since the bot has to accommodate every single other module with all these other rules and all these different types of cards. The fact that it works as well as it does, as smoothly as it does, and in such a challenging way as it does is really an impressive achievement, so great job, Ricky. My number 3 is the modular nature of the game. This is a full-on pro, but there is one caveat real quick. If you're buying the game in retail, you have to buy first the basic set, and then you have to buy these separately and add them on. They sent me the deluxe edition that has like all of the initial modules together, but besides that potential concern, I adore these. So first of all, each of the modules has their own new set of cards, and that could have been enough. They could have stopped with just new traits, but each of the modules introduces something super cool. With the bird module, you can make flying species that can migrate and avoid hunters. With the Jurassic module, your species increase in size to a ridiculous extent and combat becomes a focus. Then there's the Tundra module, which makes survival completely desperate. There's the Rainforest module, which adds bluffing to the mix and ways to earn more points from food. And so far for us, each of them is completely exciting and fun, and the fact that you can mix and match them and the solo bot still works and the core competitive play still works is pretty amazing. I love the system and I hope they keep on making more modules for it. Moving on to my number 2 point, this is another full pro. I love this game, and that is the feeding phase and the competition for food. So you'll have some central food in the watering hole. You can also earn meat through some trait cards and through hunting each other. And players act one turn at a time, eating with one species or hunting or whatever they're doing. And if you hold some cards back, you can discard them to add more food to the watering hole if you need it, but then some other player might come in and steal some of the food you just added. It's tense, it's fun, sometimes things go terribly for you and your entire species goes extinct. But even when that happens, you get all the cards back for that species, their size boosts the next species you get for free, and their population is added to the next species. So even when things go badly for you, you can still catch up, and it doesn't feel like you've actually been punished that much. Really nice touch for the feeding. But the most important thing to know about the game, my number 1, another full-on pro, is the hand management and card play. So generally you're getting 5 cards a turn, and when you're using modules, you can get some from each deck in whatever ratio you like. And like I mentioned earlier, you're playing them on your species, you're discarding them to add more population, you're discarding them to increase your size, or you're holding them back to add some food to the watering hole because you have a lot of herbivores and you're not sure if they're going to be able to eat. And those choices, those tactical decisions are great, but what's really tough in competitive play is all the cards are played face down. So I can, for example, see that my opponent has added 3 cards to this species and grown their size, but I don't know exactly what those 3 cards are going to be until I've played my cards. So you get a lot of surprises. You can try to match each other, like, oh, that person's going to hunt, I'm going to defend myself. And of course, adding in the modules just adds in that many more options, that many combos to pursue, because there's deeper strategy than you might at first realize here. Like, for example, I've won games where I built up a species just for my own hunter to eat them and have a consistent food source. Overall, Nature is easily one of my favorite games of the year for both solo and competitive play. If you like Ten's card play choices and thematic integrations between players and their species, I think you might enjoy this one. And also, if you like tons of variety in your play, as long as you're willing to pay for the modules, I think there's a lot to explore here. But on the other hand, if you don't like some randomness and chaos, if you don't want to invest in more than the base game, or if you don't like competitive experiences that can be kind of mean because your animals are going to eat each other sometimes, then you might want to avoid this one. And if you want to see the game in action, I had a playthrough recently, and I'm going to have another one in a couple of weeks because, again, I really like this game. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.